Hey, welcome back to part 2 update. So we're still talking about this guy. So we're talking about the scratches. So you can see, hopefully you can see that there's still tiny little scratches, and it's affecting the reflection just a little bit of the light. But again, we don't have any more of that warping because it's been blocked out. So obviously that warping was all in the clear, and it was probably because the clear was not hardened. But you can see the quality of the reflection is still really good, but there are still these tiny little scratches. So I'm thinking that might be a combination of that it's still not perfectly hard, so it still could have maybe used a day or two. And there's a piece of dirt after the fact. Let me see if I could find it in the camera. Where'd it go? It's right there. There it is. Oops. There you go, you can see it. So that's what a piece of dirt looks like after it's been refinished. It's nearly impossible to see. You have to use a reflection, and then you have to go around, and then you'll finally find it. I saw a little pock mark, so I know that's there. And another thing I want to get rid of, I still have those few pock marks that are probably all the way down to the color. Probably absence of clear there at all. And then obviously I rubbed the edge down. So, and then here's my sandpaper scheme. So we'll go over the whole scheme itself. And also I got in some new, this is some cheap brand 5000. It actually seems like it is 5000. It might be a little less than 5000, but it has a very light cut. You can barely see clear coming off as you're sanding. It's really nice and fine, and very fine cut, and even less clear coming off than the 3500 here, which again I'll probably use this 3500 again on this panel. I might skip to the next one because it might have some stuff on it. So you see here, I need to do a better job of rinsing, because I think that's where these scratches are coming from, is that there's dirt and debris on it. And there's these pigtails and these tiny little scratches. There's a whole bunch actually down here. There's less over here on this side, I found. Yeah, there's a lot. Well, there's about the same amount, but they're super faint on this side. So over here, they're way deeper. So I need to figure that out. I think that if I let it sit longer, I think that will help it a little bit. Also, if I clean my rags a little bit, if I clean my block, keep my block cleaner, keep the environment cleaner, and if I keep all my discs cleaner and my DA cleaner, I think that will work. But you could definitely tell a difference between the 3000 and the 5000 when you're done. When you're done, this thing is this is already starting. You can already see the shine and see that the orange peel is gone. You're starting to see the shine. Obviously, it's extremely cloudy, but you could already see you could start to see the reflection. And obviously, the reflection is super cloudy, but you could see any sort of imperfection there with the 5000 grit. You could start to see like this reflection of the light, even though it would be super cloudy. So I think it's worth it. Obviously, it adds another 10-15 minutes to the whole ordeal. Again, each step, I spend less and less time on each step, because a lot of people, they cut after 2000, and the 3M Perfect It really says that it will be able to pick up 1200 grit. So theoretically, anything past 1200 should be fine, but again, it's trying to go back and pick up some of those scratches. So again, I think those scratches are from some sort of something falling into the wheel and causing those buffing marks, or that that it's soft, and there is basically what happens is there's a tall grit in there, and the tall grit just keeps going because it's not being rounded off, because this is not hard enough to round off the edges of the grit. So it just keeps going. There's just one tall piece of grit on there, and it just keeps going and just rubs It just rubs its way into it, and basically it does like this kind of, it's like towards the center of the wheel, and it just kind of does this like circular pattern as I go down, and then as I go this way it does this circular pattern. So I do like the idea of going back and forth like this, kind of blends it, and then go this way, kind of blends it in, and the DA also kind of blends it in. But I think that this guy needs to sit out there even longer. So I think, obviously this one I did 3 days. I put it out Monday. Yeah, I think I put it outside Monday. And today is Wednesday. Wednesday. So today is 11 o'clock p.m. Wednesday, so I left it out for 2 days, for 2.5 days, because I came in here at 7 o'clock and started working on it. 6:30, 7 o'clock. So that's basically what I've found out. It's looking really, really good, and nothing sticks to it. It just wipes away, and these are really, really nice. I like these chemical guys. I mean, I think that if you bought something on Amazon, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. But obviously, I might be a little bit more critical now on the chemical guys pad. I'm wondering if it's from this pad is causing some of the stuff that's getting stuck on this pad is causing that issue, or something stuck on that pad or the other pad, that pad there for compound. This is the compound right here, I believe. But yeah, I really suggest these cutting pads. We'll see if we could cut with that. You might need some more extreme cutting compound, but I think that if the paint gets harder, we probably won't need as much cutting compound, and we're probably going to need, the swirl remover is okay, but we're pretty much out of glaze, so I might go to Chemical Guys and get some sort of glaze, something for it, because I'm starting to run out, some sort of wet glaze or something, with just maybe even just just tiny little bit of abrasive in it. So I could use this pad, and I will really get, because I think that I want another step that's a glaze that leaves something behind and bonds to the material. And again, if you're going to do a glaze that bonds to the material and gets stuck, then obviously you're going to want it to be already all gassed out. So, but in this case I'm going to sand most of it back off. So I want something to be just like this Meguiar's and be slightly less of a cut. So this is a 3 cut. So if I have something from Chemical Guys or some other company where it has just a little bit of abrasive in this hand glaze, I really doubt that this thing has any abrasive. And again, this says used by hand because there's a machine. You use a machine first and then you use this. So if there's something that just has a little bit of abrasive in it that will pick up this swirl remover, then I think that would be great for that yellow pad right there, to have a heavy cut for the to take the swirl remover out. And then it will also, after that, obviously we don't need a second step with a glaze because it has a glaze in it, so that will save us another step. Because what I would like to try to do is start to eliminate steps, because every time I put a step on, there's another chance that I get some dirt stuck and I rub some scratches into the finish. Oh, actually, there is a little bit of distortion right there. Just saw it right now. Let me see if I can give you guys the kind of distortion. You can kind of see it moving. Just a little bit, actually, yeah, so there's quite a bit here. I mean, there's still a little bit here and there, so hopefully when I repaint I could eliminate a lot of that issues, but this shine, I'm really happy with this shine. So what we're doing is working. I would like to do the DA for everything. Right now we're doing the rotary for the compound, and then we're using the DA for everything else, and obviously doing hand 1000, and I'll probably stick with hand 1000. I'm liking that so far. And then try to swap out the glaze. Swirl remover's fine. And maybe some more aggressive compound to use on the DA. Maybe do some Meguiar heavy cut, speed cut, or whatever. Some sort of heavy or something. And then maybe the perfected after. Probably just go straight to polish. Just need something with a little bit heavier cut to try to take out any of these deep scratches that I have. So that's basically the steps. So again, these are the steps that we're gonna go with after the couple weeks that I start painting these panels. Let's go step by step all the way through, from painting down to finishing. So I'm gonna do 800 on this, obviously just on this, and then all the other panels I'm gonna do 1,000 right before paint, 1,000 wet. Paint over anywhere you have silver, because it's going to take more coats to clear over top, and this stuff over here, the Transtar, is way cheaper. This stuff is way cheaper than the actual paint. And then, so 1,000, paint over it, paint over anything, any part that you rub through after you block it. Make sure that you do guide coat. Then you're going to 1,000 the black, and then you're going to paint. Obviously do your tack cloth and all your prep for your paint with degreaser. Paint, then clear 1,000, 1,000 block sand, get rid of all the orange peel, 2,000, 3,000 DA, and then 5,000 DA, and then rubbing compound rotary polish on the cutting